You want to say burrito again?
Burrito.
Burrito. Hey guys, it's Kez and
Drew.
And we're doing a commentary on a Drew builds. So, yeah. You want to talk about, what you're building?
At this point, it's a thing.
So, Drew built a thing for us for Christmas. And, it's gonna be great. So, do you want to talk about this build and what inspired you and your challenges and inspirations?
Well, I just started building. You said you wanted me to build a thing, so I just started building.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it went. It looks like here you've finished the stage and now you're starting on the stairs.
Yeah, the stairs are the beginning of my troubles.
At the beginning.
Yeah, it was a I didn't do well on this build.
We had some issues. So, because what was it? One of the problems you, well, one of the mistakes I guess you made was not finding the center of the, yeah.
And I didn't realize that until like way late in the build.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. We found a way around it. Covering it up, but we found a way around it. But yeah, the stairs themselves look really nice. So yeah, I might be using that idea myself because it actually looks really pretty. So.
The spiral staircase, or
the what you chose to decorate the middle with, which I'm not going to spoil because you're about to show it here.
thing.
Yes, thing. But what was it? My disclaimer. Oh yeah, these decorative builds, I'm not gonna loot, so I'm not allowed to touch anything that Drew puts here, like these valuable beacons.
Yeah, they're like insanely hard to actually get in the game.
Mm-hmm. So they're just gonna stay there forever as decoration, and I'm not allowed to loot them. So yeah, I'm not even really gonna allow myself to damage any of the decorative buildings, so I can't even, you know. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So I like how the staircase turned out. Looks great.
Yeah, I was thinking of using a lava lamp for the middle, but it would require to make the staircase bigger.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I really didn't feel like making it much bigger.
Just grab a soda here.
So I did this piece, and then I promptly realized I screwed up and have to undo it.
I like the mix of the brick and the stone, though.
Yeah, my original plan was to make really cool, long, V-shaped windows on each side.
V-shaped?
Like, inverted V. Think like Gothic architecture. But I couldn't quite figure out how to do it without dicking it all up, so...
Or making it really tall, I guess.
Well, it'd have to be really tall and really wide. So up close, you'd lose the effect.
Well, we could always play around with more Drew builds later. We could learn stuff about building. Because I know you aren't, you know, super thrilled on it, but I think it looks great, the final product.
Yeah, well, it's also a pain. You can't make ogive arches.
What does that mean?
It's a shape.
They can't see you gesturing with your fingers. Is it like an upside down W with a very shallow middle, or?
Well, here, if you just show it real quick, I guess. You can pause this and pause
or I can just, you know, pull it up on Google and put it on the side so that we can still see the video. What's it called?
OGIVE.
OGIVE?
Yeah, ogive curve or ogive curve or whatever.
Oh, I see. Yeah, those are really pretty.
Yeah.
You guys should look it up on Google.
You actually, if you look over here, you'll see.
Would you prefer architecture or?
Just window will work.
Ogive window. Ogive.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to do like long windows. Like, if you OGIVE window, Google it. The first image that comes up, it should be grandb.am, something like that. That was the kind of Windows shape I was going for. You can actually, it's even got the brick on it.
It's very pretty.
I used. I just couldn't figure out how to make it work. If you look at Turkish architecture, it's more like it's very stylized like that. Okay. And Gothic architecture took that quite a bit. This is a lot of me just fumbling around trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing and trying to figure out how to add brick facades. I didn't think to use the saw at this point to cut and make the facades, which would have come up with a completely different build shape. I would have had brick on the inside of those windows and they would have been open.
Well, live and learn, I guess.
Yeah, the next Drew build is going to be something kind of steampunkish, so a lot of brass and metal and steam.
And gears and stuff? Do you already have a plan for that, or...?
Nope, same thing as I did here.
Cool.
Come up with a concept, run with it, don't really plan shit. Well, I mean, as you can see by all the shit. Like that.
Yeah. This right here is when we realized that we didn't know where the center was. Or we didn't check to find the center was before the stairs were built, so...
Yeah.
And the windows kept breaking in ways that you weren't expecting, and you kept placing them weirdly because you don't have a lot of experience with panes.
Yeah, normally I don't build, so Kat's the one who does all the building. I deal with the tech side.
And so the adventure.
Fusion reactors, stuff like that, that's all me.
Except, you know, whenever it comes to crafting, I'm usually your lovely assistant. Because, what was it I built last time? I built the computer? Yeah, so we kind of both do crafting, but we do different sorts of crafting. Whereas I'm all about automation and better storage and farming and stuff like that. Drew's into, like, power generation and weaponry and weapons and tools and things like that, so...
I tend to build massive reactors. I actually understand the math behind the reactor formulas and everything pretty well. So after, what was it, Technic 1, the first Technic pack came out.
That was fun, too.
I stopped blowing myself up. Once I was able to find the formulas, it's actually really simple math.
Oh man, do you remember that? After we built our first reactor?
Over a fucking
chasm.
bottomless pit in a marble field.
I know.
And of course, I surrounded it with quarries that just dug out to bedrock all around us, and I just walled over the quarries with a single layer of stone so we could build on it. Anytime a creeper came by, we all died. Yeah.
So what we eventually did was we just like packed up all of our shit in boxes and moved to like a volcano nearby, and then you set up the reactor to explode. It never did, but we kind of stopped playing after that.
The chunk deloaded, and one of the issues with the early Technic pack was reactors and things like that would despawn, or unload, the chunk would despawn when you left a certain distance. I want to say it was like 10 chunks away.
That's
great for RAM saving.
That's still a problem now, but they have workarounds for it now.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for saving your RAM and making sure your computer doesn't melt trying to run all that stuff, but at the same time, as soon as you despawn a reactor that's set to go kaboom, it won't go kaboom, and then when you try and respawn it in, typically, it's lost all its heat because the heat ticks keep counting, it starts over again, and you don't want to be around when one of those reactors blow. They clear out like over a chunk. I want to say it's something like 4 or 5 chunk area gets blown up.
Yeah, I don't remember. This is years and years ago. So
pretty deep too. That was also my first use of equivalent exchange. I used it quite a bit to
mostly for ice, if I remember right.
Yeah, makes a good cooling system. And here's me. I was gonna make a bunch of cross-shaped windows coming down, but decided that it was gonna look bad.
Yeah, I was about to say, we need to get back on topic.
So I made a single dropped-in window. And then made one of my lava lamps.
I'm actually very happy with... Oh yeah, this is when you tried the molten glass.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to try molten glass. And that looked... Well, it's just water that's opaque blue. Not nearly as cool as I thought it was going to be. No.
I mean, it would have been okay, I guess. But, with the solution that we eventually came up with, but right there, no, not so much. So this is the solution that Drew eventually came up with. Just housing the liquid, right?
Yeah, I used to do this in all of my little door fortresses with, like the old Minecraft. I'd use lava lamps to light up all the walls and everything. And you could use them in your mines too, especially because lava's all over the place in there.
That used to be one of my favorite ways to light mines, actually. Was to build a big, like 16 by 16 hole, and then dig down little channels on each side, and then pour lava down.
It worked really well. So, Oh yeah, we found some chocobos.
Yeah, and remember how Choki and Chobi need girlfriends? Well, the one on the right there is a female. Was a female, and
the one on the left is an idiot and tried to swim up the lava.
So Drew killed the chocobos after I pleaded with him not to. So I need to go find another chocobo. Anyway.
I also didn't realize that you can't spawn them in because I was just going to spawn them back.
Drew wondered why I got so mad.
There's me looking up chocobos.
I don't know how.
And then this is me being a dick.
Yeah, I'm putting in raw chocobo. And then putting in cooked chocobo. So yeah, we decided that would be the chocobo grave.
Yeah, it started out, it was going to be a wizard tower. I was going to build a lot of, like, floating, weird, ethereal platforms off to the sides and everything. Think like slime islands. But, one, I didn't quite visualize it well in my head. I just kind of had a rough concept, and I didn't want to run with it and dick around for another 2 hours, as this was already getting to be a pretty long build.
And then the other thing was I was so upset about the chocobos, you know.
Yeah, so I just ran with that.
Yeah. And I kept nagging you about Christmas stuff, so...
Yeah, I was going to make a steam-powered clock, because I remember one of the older Technic packs we built, or was it Extreme Machines or whatever?
I think it was Technic.
Yeah, it was one of the packs we played. It had water wheels and things. You could put steam to turn a clock hand thing. I was going to make a clock here.
They might even have it. We just don't know where it is, what it's called, or how to use it, so... You know, I might have to add that, but, you know, for now this is fine.
Yeah, so I make my clock face, more or less. Then start playing around with things.
Oh yeah, and this is when I told you about the microblocks, because I thought you already knew about the saw. Yeah,
microblocks, which I could have used way down in the lower levels to actually make my vision happen with the Ogive windows and everything.
But that didn't work out. I really thought you knew, but I guess not. But yeah, I think the clock came out great.
And okay, that looks retarded.
And then I gave you the idea to use that, and then there, clock.
Yep, and it's perpetually 3 o'clock.
Yes.
It's right twice a day. Sometimes 3 times.
Sometimes 3 times.
There's my window, big blank face. Couldn't figure out what I want to put on there, so I made a dick.
We laughed for a while. And then
I was thinking about doing a dwarf. So I was looking up a dwarf face, and Simon was actually the first thing that popped up.
Simon and Dog's Cast.
I was going to try and bang that out on there, but I realized that I didn't have enough room and I didn't really care that much.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could have done just his head, but...
That was the plan.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Much like that one world we made where we had the castle and I made the giant dwarf mouth to the cave.
Didn't really look like a dwarf mouth. I mean, it looked like a mouth, but it didn't really look like a dwarf mouth.
It's a cave. A mine. What the hell kind of a thing carves a mine face? But dwarves.
Rapist kobolds?
No. They lived in a cave. Not a cave with a face carved on it.
I'm sure the viewers are sure loving us talking about D&D stuff that they don't know.
Yeah, Rapist Kobolds is a reference to the Dungeons and Dragons campaign that me and my friends play on weekends over Skype and Roll20.
That I spectate.
Yeah, Kat just randomly spectates, mostly because we're living in a freaking barracks room right now.
Yeah.
And so what we did was one of our guys, we basically had a party wipe, and we left one of our guys behind to be molested by kobolds.
Molested? It went a lot further than that. Anyway, this is the result of me nagging Drew about, making it Christmassy because this is supposed to be a Christmas video.
Yeah, she's like, make it Christmassy. I'm like, okay. It's a fucking candy cane. Here you go. As you can see, I don't use slats and covers and boards very often. Because again, I rarely ever build anything that's not incredibly complex engineering wise.
And again, I'm usually the builder, and you didn't remember that the saw was a thing, so.
Yeah, actually, once we get my computer up, if I ever get time, working these friggin' 15-hour days is killing me.
Yeah.
I really do want to do another natural build of a fusion reactor.
I'm sorry if you guys can hear our neighbor's kids screaming outside.
Don't worry, they're only beating them savagely.
On Sunday.
That was me thinking about doing the little floating platforms and everything, and I just kind of decided against it.
So we kind of sat around for a while.
Yeah, so this is actually me looking up an 8-bit picture of a chocobo, and then trying to find the correct colors of clay and wool to make one.
Oh, I thought you were going to save the surprise.
Because, the chocobo tomb has to be properly identified. And in this case, properly identified means, well, you'll kind of see what it means.
You'll see. So what basically happened was Drew pulled up a picture, and I read out the colors from left to right. Not yet, but, we start moving along more quickly at a point. So, yeah. It's adorable. It's chocobo.
Yeah, so you see where I have to stop every single friggin' block and stop. Then I hand the phone off to Kat with a picture on it, and she starts reading me off block colors from left to right, and
there
now
we go.
we start. Yeah, the 3D printer finished spooling, or massive 2D printer, I guess. You can insert your dot matrix printer sound right here. If you really want, just Google dot matrix printer sound. I'm pretty sure there's a YouTube video of it.
I would love to, but those things are so loud, we wouldn't be able to hear ourselves.
Yeah. Soundproofing technology was invented just because of freaking dot matrix printers. There's the feet.
Yay, feet.
And kind of the belly, I guess.
Kind of.
The taint.
Maybe the wing.
The tisn't.
The tisn't. I love that we can just kind of barely hear the sound of... Oh my god, phone, shut up. That we can barely hear the sound of a few placing blocks.
Bloop, 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 bloop,
No, it's like my best buddy, probably. He's visiting his family right now. Speaking of, this mystery person will probably be joining us on the show as soon as we get a stable internet connection. So, we'll be able to play with him.
Yay!
Yay! And I'm not talking about Ghost. I'm talking about my, other friend.
And because we just bought the house and everything, we'll be able to actually put in proper soundproofing instead of just using piles of wood foam crates.
Oh, it's terrible right now. Because there is no soundproofing, so you can pick up all of the echo from this room.
Yeah, the other good news is we actually got 2 lots out there, so if you guys start sharing and pimping out the show and everything and it gets big, we can actually put in a proper sound studio in the second lot.
Oh, that'd be great.
Right now, it's just going to be some acoustic foam tiles and whatnot mounted up actually onto the walls.
Some egg crate.
And some corner blocks to smooth out the corners a bit.
And I should probably make a box for the Yeti for travel and things like that. Just a little soundproof box. It's just cardboard with egg crates stapled to it.
Okay.
But yeah, here we are making progress on the chocobo.
Yeah, I mean, it's really kind of boring to watch somebody dot matrix a chocobo, so...
Well, a little bit, but that's why we're talking. And then it starts to get dark, and then we start to remember those dead chocobos that you heartlessly murdered with lava.
So I was figuring that Kat is going to explore out this way eventually, and I was going to, kind of play with her emotions horribly, but...
Because he's a dick.
In a little bit, you'll see that whole general idea failed, so...
Yeah, I even took a bathroom break. You had every opportunity to, just...
My redstone skills are kind of weak, okay? Weak sauce, red sauce.
Well, I mean, you could have done something else. Like, it's not like flint and tinder is hard to obtain.
Yep, so there's Chocobo.
Oh, whoops. Our screensaver just kicked in. There we go.
And, here's me playing around with it, and I'm like, okay, this is where Kat steps out for a minute, and I was like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to build one of those traps where you have a whole bunch of pistons rigged up with redstone, and they're activated, and when you hit the pressure plate, it deactivates the pistons, and they drop down, and when they drop down, all the lava would fall down all over the chocobo, much like earlier, except for this one is a, like, 50-meter tall chocobo.
It's like a plushie, rather than, you know.
Yeah. And this is me, quickly trying to remember how the fuck I'm supposed to do this. Failing miserably a couple of times.
Actually, that'd be an interesting video, doing a primer on redstone.
Yeah, I was building up. I was going to use the sand as a blocker, and then the pistons would push the sand. But that actually makes no sense whatsoever. So I went with vertical pistons that were going to act as gates because they're permanently activated. But I couldn't remember how to do on-off redstone, and it was a nightmare.
Yeah. And then I think I came back around this point and tried to help you. But that didn't work out either, because we couldn't figure out how to get the wires and the redstone paste to actually connect up to the pistons. So, that was a disaster.
Yeah, so that's me lighting myself on fire in creative mode. Ha 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 ha. And then in a second you'll see me, I'm trying to remember how to turn these things off. But I can't remember if it's two down there or up there, or how was I supposed to do it.
Or if you need to do it with dust or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, so I experiment around with it, play around. I have a outbreak of lava in a second. And
you had a couple, so...
Yeah, I had a few. Oh, there's one right there. I really quickly overlay it. There we go. Oh no, it didn't burn down the chocobo, so all is well. So I had a safety block row right here. That's my secondary safeties of stone. And I still managed to melt the chocobo a couple times.
Well...
So I laid down some redstone.
That didn't work.
If you guys can remember how the hell you're supposed to do this, by all means, tell me.
Oh, was that Boom the meteor?
Yeah. I hear that boom, and I jumped about 3 feet in the air.
Yeah. Yeah, this is us trying to figure out why the wires wouldn't connect.
Actually, I think I figured out what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to move that block of stone that's behind up one.
No, I know what you could have done instead. You could have used sticky pistons. And then pulled the stone away.
That would have worked.
Or just regular pistons and push the stone forward. So that you'd only need to be on it for like a second.
I decided to...
this is rage quitting.
Yeah, rage quit. Say screw it.
Screw it, you can keep your stupid chocobo.
I get all angry and butthurt.
Break everything.
Fortunately, I'm in creative mode, so breaking everything doesn't take very long.
Yeah. Oh man, could you imagine throwing a destructive hissy fit in Minecraft?
I did. Remember when me and Smith built the ICBM base?
No, I mean in survival mode. Could you imagine doing that in survival mode, like with the cheats turned off? You'd have to go out and find creepers to get the gunpowder, and you know, you need to make the tools to break stuff. And, ugh, it would suck.
This is my fuck it bucket. Straight up fuck it. And once I get all of them, they start going down.
Give the chocobo a quick bath. We decided to call this the reveal. And then Drew made the chocobo cry. It's taking a bath in its own tears right now.
So the water falls away. You get the big reveal. Then
we're still waiting for the water to drain. And then you put the tier back, right? Yeah.
Yeah, put the tiers back. And then I realized it's gonna make a big mess, so we make the well of chocobo tiers.
Yes. The tier trough. There it is. It's depressing.
The locals believe that this if you bathe here, it'll actually cure you of your diseases. So, you know, the water comes down, it goes in the chocobo trough.
Unfortunately, it really only cures you of lava-related injuries, but,
i.e., if you're on fire, it'll put you the fuck out.
And then Drew...
eliminating it, and then I decide...
Yeah. I encourage you to do the face only because it makes it look more forlorn.
Now, I was gonna try and flood the inside to make like a flooded temple. And then I was gonna fill the inside with glass as well in random places. just to make like a maze to try and get through. Turn it from like a simple staircase to like a parkour tower. And I realized that that invisible glass is a pain in the ass to place, so I said screw it again. And
plus jetpack.
This is my crying chocobo well tomb thing.
Yep. Clock on one side, candy cane, and the lava lamp. The crying chocobo on top to mourn the 2 chocobos you killed.
That area over there that I just flew over, behind it, is where I'm going to do the next Drew builds, where I make the steampunk building. It's going to have a whole bunch of steam-powered everything. And then I decided to seal off the temple.
Oh, are you open to asking the viewers for ideas for things you could build?
Sure.
Cool. So if you guys have an idea for steampunk type things that Drew can build, then you go ahead and give him ideas. Obviously, we're not going to guarantee that he's going to do those ideas, but, you know, it couldn't hurt to suggest stuff.
Yeah, the other one is I am going to do it's probably going to be like a year before I actually get around to doing it, but I'm going to do a natural, like a pure survival build of a fusion tokamak reactor. So they're probably one of the most end game pieces you can have.
Oh, the video's over.
Yeah, I know.
But,
you can link to the videos of that people actually making the tokamak mod here.
Okay. I have no idea what you're talking about, so.
Just tokamak fusion reactor Minecraft, I think, something like that. And you'll find it. The thing's monstrous. It takes up 6 chunks or 8 chunks in space, and it requires a ton of high-end, high-resource demand components.
Oh, do you want to talk about our other Minecraft ideas? I mean, I know you won't be able to do them probably because of your work schedule, but maybe, you know, I could work with the viewers. Because we had this one idea of the race to clean energy.
Yeah, we're gonna start we're gonna go into creative mode and build a
sludge pit.
Yeah, just basically make like a taint and sludge infested area, like maybe 100 chunks by 100 chunks.
I think what is it? Regrowth on the Shin's channel.
Yeah, and then
only worse.
We're gonna cut it in half with a fence and build a bunch of factories and sewage production points and coal plants and things that just pollute. And from there, we were going to clean it up and have to use clean renewable energy or energy that could somehow not produce toxic waste. So nuclear energy is out, but fusion is in.
Oh, that reminds me. Well, it doesn't remind me, but it gave me an idea. When we finally get around to that, and it might be 3 years when we finally get around to that, but I was thinking what we could do is, once we draw the line down the middle of the territory, we could build these horrible, shitty, like, super sludge-producing power plants, and then we each have to fix the other side. So, you know, it encourages us to make each side as bad as possible, so it's fair. No?
It works for me.
Yeah. Anyway, this is just an idea we were kicking around. Let us know what you guys think. We might actually get time to do it, but I'm not going to make any promises. It's something to do later, maybe. So, or I could do it with Ghost or Spiky or Chaw or anybody else. So,
yeah,
it's an idea. Maybe you can coach me. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. The video's been black for like 3 minutes, so...
Don't worry, she'll input a bunch of pictures and crude drawings that she does with a mouse and paint.
Crude drawings of, I don't know, wangs and...
Sludge.
Sludge producing wangs. Anyway, bye guys. Love you!